everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in today. Today I will be providing brush swatches for the BH Cosmetics Blush Neutrals 26 color eyeshadow and blush palette. I purchased this palette some years ago, and this is pretty much what it looks like. So I have had this for quite some time, and it's a really nice, I would say a nice neutral palette, and with a little bit of pop of color like your bronzes, your coppers, and it comes with, I think, 5 blushes. So it's basically your eyeshadow and your blush palette. So it's really neat. And so I will get into that palette to swatch. So I'm going to start the video off by providing this clean sweep, which I will be using to change the colors of the brushes. Well, basically use the colors to swatch and clean in between the colors. So this is a clean sweep. I bought this from, I think, Marshalls or TJ Maxx. Might have been TJ Maxx. And it's very inexpensive. I think I might have paid like either $2.99 or $3.99 for it. So it works really well. So I'll be using that. And this is what the inside of the container looks like. That's a regular sponge. So I know like the Sephora has a color switch. So this is basically an alternative if you didn't want to pay. I think they're like $20 for the color switch. And I will be using the Morphe M408 to swatch. It's basically a shader brush to swatch the different colors. And here's the palette itself. So you just see the palette. So I usually try to lay the palette where you can see the colors. So let's hopefully you'll be able to see them and I can still have room to swatch as well. So when you buy the palette, it comes with a sleeve. And again, this palette is older. So I'm going to go from left to right. There are 3 rows of eyeshadow and 1 row of blushes. So I will start at the top row and basically move my way across this way. So I'm going to try to cover my whole arm so you all can see the colors. And I thought about at the beginning, should I just do a row at a time and film and show, and then just show it in a longer view, or just keep filming the colors. So hopefully you all can see this. I feel like there's not enough light. So I'm going to try to shine some light towards where I'm swatching. Hopefully you all can see that it's better. So I am going to start swatching. So the first color looks like a deep bronze, like a medium bronze color. And this is what it looks like on the brush if it zooms in. So it's basically a nice, so I'm just going to start here. Hopefully you all can see that. That's in view. I have no primer on my skin. The thing about the lights, sometimes the lights can take away from you being able to see things. So here is the first color. And I'm just building it up so you all can see it. It will look like it would make a nice, nice eyelid color. Let me adjust something. So basically, it looks like it would make a nice highlighting color or eyelid color, but it's very light. So that's the first color. Hopefully y'all can see that. Trying to get in here just right so y'all can see this. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the swatches. So on the first row, going left to right, the first color looks like a cool tone bronze, but once we apply it, we're gonna see how it looks on the skin tone, because again, skin tone can also change the color of the color depending on what your skin tone looks like. I could say alternate the color and how warm or cool it may look on your skin. So on my skin tone, it looks like a bronzy, almost like a bronze gold color, like almost a copper, but it'll be hard to see because it's not like super bright. I'm gonna do something to adjust. I'm trying to use natural lighting to swatch, but I want you all to be able to visually see this color. So that's a little bit better. So it's more like almost like a copper bronze color when I swatch it on my skin. So that's the first shade. And it is a shimmer finish. The next color looks like a nice pink shade. And it looks like it could be a satin. It doesn't look quite matte. It's a nice rosy pink shade. So it's very, very light on my skin tone, but very pretty. It looks like a satin. I don't think it's a pink matte shade. The next shade is a shimmer finish, and it looks like basically like a straight gold tone. So like a light gold. Y'all can see that. So it looks like a light gold tone. And we'll make a nice inner corner highlight or to highlight your lash line, your bottom lash line. It would also make a nice like eyelid shade if you apply this over a darker color on your lid. So that's the color. So there's 7 shades in each row. The next shade looks like a hot pink. Looks like it would be like a hot pink matte. Is this color? If it zooms in. Looks like a hot pink matte shade. It has a slight sheen, but I think it is a matte. Because I really like this palette. You get a blend of a lot of different colors for day looks and even evening and night looks. The next color is a, it's like a nice, like a coral orange or coral apricot shade, and it looks like a matte finish. So that's what that looks, very like a blend of an apricot, slight pink tone to it, but definitely on the orange kind of spectrum. So I would say definitely like a coral. The next shade looks like a champagne, like a champagne shimmer shade. And I want to show this to you without primer so you could get an idea what the pigment looks like without applying any assistance during the swatches. So that's that color. Let me try to move this out of the way and see if this may help a little bit so you all can see the color. So yeah, it's definitely like a champagne gold type of color. The next shade looks like it may be a matte, very cool tone brown shade, almost taupey but not quite, just a beige, like a cool beige color. It could be like a all over the eyelid base color. That's what that color looks like. So that's the first row of colors. So bring the colors up close. camera. So this is what the first row looks like. So you pretty much got a very nice tones of colors and finishes for like a day look along the first row. You got some pinks, some golds, some coppers. So if you just want to wear colors from that first row, you could make a nice look with it. So let's go ahead with the next row. So next row has this nice deep gold shade. So I'm going to put it here. That gold almost matches the first gold, which is interesting. Yeah, so their first gold almost the same as this gold. This one is just a lighter gold finish to it, but they look almost identical. But when you look at the pan, they're completely different colors, which is interesting. The next shade is a deep bronzy, almost like a mocha shimmer shade, I would think. But it may be a matte. I don't think it's a matte. I think it's more like a satin. Like a satin because it has a sheen to it. Ooh, I'm sorry for bumping the camera. So that is a pretty deep color. So that is that shade. The next shade, it looks like a apricot type color. It looks like a matte finish. Let's see. It's definitely light. And again, if you apply a primer, it will pick these colors up more deeper. But I'm just showing to you without any primer. It's like a nice peachy color. The next color looks like a, similar to the first row, that coral shade, but looks like a little bit deeper. So that is this color. It definitely looks like almost like a frost. Maybe like a, not pearlescent, but maybe a frost shade. That's what that color looks like. Definitely a beautiful shade, especially for this spring and the coming summer. Make a nice color. I mean, a nice color for eye looks. The next shade is like a plummy mauve color. And I really love purples right now. Like, mauve, berries. So that has more of basically how this finish is. Kind of like a satin or frost. Probably more like a satin finish. But sometimes I can't always tell what a satin and a frost. So it's like I know frost is more, has more of that pearlescent kind of hue to it. So these are probably satin. It's not quite matte, because there is some sheen to it. Definitely a pretty color. The next shade looks like a matte medium, like a matte medium, like taupe color. But it looks like a deeper matte brown shade. So that is that color, really pretty. Again, the second row has some really nice deeper shades that you can even play with the first row. Really nice color, transition color, or to line your eyes. Some of these can even be contour colors if you want to contour your face with it, or basically your eyes deep in the color. So the next shade looks like a cool tone, like a mix of bronze and I don't know, it's a strange color. And you would think it would be deeper because it looks deeper in the pan. But it's like a mix of like a mauve and a brown. So that's that color. Really pretty shades on the second row. So we're done with the second row, so let's go down to the third row, which is a smoky, almost like a green. I'd be surprised if there's no green in it. A smoky green color. So I'm just gonna swatch here. It has definitely it has a black base to it, but it's almost like a golden, probably like a golden deep bronze color with a black base to it. And the next color is a nice, it's a rich, ooh, this picked up a lot of pigment. You don't have to go in too deep, but I picked up a lot of pigment. This is a nice copper. Look how beautiful that is. A beautiful copper shade. That is so pretty. It's probably the most pigmented so far that I've swatched. That is gorgeous. next shade is, I would say like a lighter gold color. Definitely, that looks metallic. This one has a deeper pigmentation too. And I would say the finish is probably more, it's probably more like a satin finish. Almost close to being metallic. Could be metallic because when I'm looking in the viewfinder, the finishes almost look the same. So the third row is definitely your pop of color. The next shade looks like a deep pink with some, looks like some shimmer in it. Some of these colors are very deep in their pigmentations, and some are just very light. But I'm sure you can build these colors up. And my palette is older. I don't even know what the newer one is like, if they changed the formula, if they may be much different now. So that's that color. Looks like a mix of like, it's like a deep rose type color that has like a hint of gold, almost like a gold sheen to it. So these are the colors so far. The next shade is a beautiful violet purple. I want to think this is a matte. This is a beautiful matte purple shade. That is a gorgeous color. I would take a lipstick in that color. Very pretty. You got your berry purples. The next shade looks like a straight cool tone taupe shade. I feel like the last couple of shades on each row are these transition brown taupey shades that you can play around as maybe your eyebrow color. You can shade your eyebrow with it. You can probably use as liners, contours. It's a deep, like a deep taupey brown color. So I think those are definitely your multi-purpose use of colors. And then the last color is, I never know what to quite say because when they look like in the pan, it can be completely different when you swatch. So yeah, this is more of your, like a light, cool tone, almost like a, I want to say grayish, but I don't think it's gray. Has a definitely like a pink undertone to it. That's a mystery color. So those are all the shades from the 3 rows. So if I can get up close and show you. Because this is the first row of colors, second row, and the third row. So you got some interesting blends of mostly warmer tone color, neutral, natural shades with a couple of pop of colors. This color, that color. And you got your golds and your bronzes. So this is a neutral palette, exactly what it is as described for this palette. And you get, I think there's 21 shades. 21 shades of eyeshadows, and then you get 5 shades of blushes. It's not a bad deal. I really enjoy shopping through BH Cosmetics because you could get some really good palettes for next to nothing. Basically very inexpensive. And when you catch them on a sale, you get even more of a greater deal. And the best way to catch them on a good sale is to follow their newsletter. And that's how you would know when there's promotions, there's sales, there's deals. Because you'll be the first one to see those emails and you'll know what's basically available. So that's one of the tips that I can suggest you all to do with any brand that you're into. Follow the newsletter, follow their basic social media accounts, and just be in the know of what's what, and regularly check your emails, because if they do like 1-day flash sales, you don't want to miss out. So let's get into the blushes. So this first shade I'm going to show you. So these are the shades that I'll be swatching left to right. This first shade looks like, I don't see this as being a blush, but I'm just going to put it here. I could do these a longer way so y'all can see. It looks like a very light pink shade. I don't know what skin tone will be able to wear this color unless you're very, very, very fair, that it may show on your skin. So that's what that shade looks like. It's very like a very like pearlescent kind of pink. The next shade is more of a, I want to say like an apricot kind of shade. So it has some rose to it. So I would say maybe like a rose type shade. Like a peachy rose. So you like, sorry that I keep bumping into my mic, but if you like nice pinks that has a blend of like peachiness to it, rose, that is a beautiful blush color. I like rose colors, I like pinks, apricot, peaches, berry shades. So that's that blush color. Very, very pretty. The next shade is probably a couple shades deeper from the last shade. And it looks like a nice, this is like a true rose color. Bordering mauve. So that is really a pretty color, especially for the spring, if you're looking for spring blushes. It's quite similar to the last one, but this one is more on a true, like on a true rose color. This is more like peachy apricot type blush. This is like a rose. Definitely a pretty color. The next two are shimmer shades. So these are blushes with shimmers in it. So this color has a copper type finish to it, like pink and copper. I would even say this can be like a highlight color. So if you use any of the other two or three, this color, I don't see who can really wear this color, except if you're very, very fair. But this color, especially if you're someone who likes blushes with a bit of sheen to it, this would be a blush for you. You could either probably wear it on top of the other two blushes like a highlight shade. So that's that color. And also keep in mind, depending on your skin tone, these colors can come out very light or in the middle, medium to dark, or very dark. So the next color is a plum blush. And this is definitely, I say, for women of color, especially those with deeper skin tones. You can wear it as an eyeshadow if you didn't want to wear it as a blush or you felt it's too heavy for your skin tone. You can wear it as a blush. I mean, sorry, not as a blush, but as an eyeshadow. Use it for, find other ways to use products. You feel like something is too dark for you or too light. Find another way to use. And that is a beautiful shade. I would definitely wear that as an eyeshadow. And I'll try to wear it as a blush, but I'll just be very light. So with this color is so intense, you just want to have a light hand using that color. But it's definitely beautiful, especially if you pair it with this color on your eyes already. You create like a monochromatic look. Definitely pretty. So those are all the shades in the BH Cosmetics Blush Neutral 26 color eyeshadow and blush palette. What do you all think of the color? They are so beautiful. Especially those blushes. And with the eyeshadows, it's definitely neutral. So if you're a girl who like neutral colors and you just want a little pop of color, for your outer crease or your lash line, this is a palette. You also have your toppers, you have your golds, for like inner corner highlights, eyelid shades. So it's definitely a beautiful palette. Thank you all so much for tuning in to look at these swatches. Hopefully you all were able to get an idea for this palette. And if you own this palette, do you like this palette? How do you usually wear it? Or do you have favorite colors in here? Because it will create a nice day and night look. Especially if someone who just prefer to be very light with your eyeshadows and play around with a little bit of the deeper shades. But yeah, I do think this is a great everyday eyeshadow palette. I'm sure very inexpensive. I even seen this palette in Kohl's. So if you're someone who likes to shop at Kohl's, Kohl's does carry some BH cosmetic products. I've seen this palette, I think, in Urban Outfitters. They also carry some BH cosmetics in their stores. BH Cosmetics also sold in some select Ulta stores. So you can pretty much get BH Cosmetics on the ground. If you can't find them, then you most definitely can order online for these palettes. The last row is so pretty. See all the colors. So thank you so much for tuning in to watch this video. Hopefully you found the swatches helpful to you, especially you may have been someone who was, you know, on the fence about whether to pick up this palette. If the swatches helped you make that decision, you know, I am thankful for that and grateful, because this is the whole purpose of doing the swatches, is to help those who may be looking for a neutral palette, especially for a certain skin tone. If you're my skin tone, this is what the colors will look like. If you're lighter, deeper, you still get a different, you know, view of what the colors could look like on your skin tone. So again, thank you so much for watching and tuning in to this swatch video. If you have any questions or any thoughts, please leave them below, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.